Hi everyone. Well, I say everyone, I know I've just joined, so I hope you can join me. I know a few of you said that you would, so I'm just really hoping. I'm going to start by putting on my makeup, and then when you come on, you come on. I've literally bought my entire Charlotte Tilbury collection on here, right? I've got it sitting in boxes. I'm surrounded by it. The only thing I couldn't find, so please don't ask me to show you the retouch. And it's going to drive me mad all day now, I know. Oh, I've got 3 people that have just joined me. Fantastic. So I am going to put on some primer. Let me know if you want a particular one. We have Wonder Glow. We have Brightening Youth Glow. And we have Flawless Filter. What's the other one? Which one am I missing? There were 4. Oh, that was right. Unisex Healthy Glow. Hello, Bindi. Hi, nice to see you. I'm surrounded in Charlotte Tilbury makeup. Absolutely surrounded. I won't turn it around because my place is an absolute tip. But I am surrounded in makeup. I'm fine, thank you. So basically today it is a kind of Ask Ali anything you like, within reason, obviously. Nothing too personal. But anything about makeup, or, you know, you can ask me about me as well. If it's too personal, I just will be a bit shy. You have the Dream Charlotte Tilbury collection. I know, I have virtually everything here. Let me just show you some of the boxes that I have around me right now. These are my lipsticks, right? These are my lipsticks. And I can't tip them up because they'll all come tumbling out. I have all the eye palettes here. I have all the instant look in the palettes. I'm just obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed. And these are, let me see if I can do this without them falling over. These are my complexion products, all in this bit of the box. So I'm kind of literally surrounded by Charlotte Tilbury. And also, don't forget, right, if you can join me on Instagram, there's people actually posting comments. I keep swiping them off. I've done a look today. I bought some drugstore makeup because I wanted to try and recreate the Pillow Talk look for 2 reasons. One, that I know some people that watch me are on a budget and just can't afford Charlotte Tilbury, and I totally get that. And secondly, a lot of people have missed out because it's sold out. So I thought, let's see if I can do it. And I've managed to recreate the Pillow Talk look, the entire look. So that's the eyeshadow, the lipstick, the bronze and glow, the blush, for less than £20. Oh, and the beauty light wand. So if you want to see if you can guess which is which, if you go on to Instagram later, don't go now because I want you to stay with me, but go on to Instagram later in my stories and vote for which side of my face you think is Charlotte Tilbury and which side is drugstore less than, thank you, Lady Million. You might be quite surprised by the results, but I'm not going to say any more. But I'm going to actually do the look. I'll either do it tomorrow or Thursday and video it and upload it so you guys can see what I used. Okay, so come on, what primer would you... I've got no makeup on. I took it all off. What primer would you like me to use? Would you like me to use a bit of Youth Glow or a bit of Wonder Glow? Or would you like me to put on a bit of Unisex Healthy Glow? I'm going to put Flawless Filter on anyway. I'll tell you why, because you're all going on about how glowy I look these days. So which one do you want, guys? Which one would you like to see? So Brightening Youth Glow, Wonder Glow, or Unisex Healthy Glow? And do you have any questions for me? If I don't get any replies in a minute, I'll decide myself. Maybe you're a bit shy. Hi, Tracy. Hello. Please feel free to ask me any questions, and I'll try and answer them as best. Unisex Healthy Glow. Okay. Now, Unisex Healthy Glow, I will put some Flawless Filter on as well, Bindi, so don't worry. Unisex Healthy Glow is one of my all-time favourites, but I always refrain from going on about it too much if you're fair-skinned, because it just doesn't have the same effect. But if you're a similar skin tone to me, it is definitely worth. Now, I'm going to zoom in so that you can see my uneven skin tone and hyperpigmentation, because it is about to disappear. This stuff is a miracle. It really, she should have called this magic something, right? So I just rub this in, and you will see as I rub it in, it just disappears. It evens out my skin tone completely. Can you see that? Now look at the other side. Now look at that side. I just love it. What do I think of Youth Glow? I'm not a fan of Wonder Glow. I never have been. I just don't get it. Youth Glow, I like it. I kind of, it's subtle, but at least I can see it. With Wonder Glow on my skin tone, I think with Wonder Glow, you've either got to be quite a dark skin tone. I know, isn't this amazing? You wait till I put it under my eyes. Right, you have to be quite dark skin toned or quite light skin toned. I know, why is it not? I'll tell you why it's not raved about. When I went to Charlotte Tilbury, they were being a bit cautious about it as well, because they had a lot of very bad feedback from people who were fair, who'd gone out because they'd watched Wayne Goss doing a video about it, and he was doing this, right? He was really like, oh, you've got to get this. And people went out and bought it, and they went orange. So if you're fair skin toned, it just doesn't work. I think she should have brought out a lighter version. Now, I'm going to put this under this eye, right? And you can see what it does. It is absolutely amazing. I mean, you can get away with no foundation when you wear this. It is absolutely amazing stuff. But you've got to be a medium skin tone. Otherwise, it just makes you look orange, apparently. Do you see that? And now if I just put a bit more there. Like Wonder 4, I don't see why not. Why don't you get, do they do samples of it? Why don't you ask them to send you a sample? I don't see why not. Like Wonder 4 isn't that fair. Let me see if I can swatch it for you on the palest part of my arm. That's what I'll do. I think if you'd said 2, I'd have said definitely not. Yeah, exactly. It is considered medium. Hi, Lucy. I think it would work. Let me see. See here, that's the palest part of my arm. It is. It's fantastic. Right. If I swatch it here, and obviously when you put it on, it looks like normal cream. But as you start to blend it in, can you see how it starts to adjust? So if you're very fair, can you see how it starts to look a bit orange? Hi, Mimi. Sorry, I'm just getting so distracted by makeup. I'm not saying hello to everyone. That's really rude of me. So if you're very fair, you can see how it would start to look orange. But if not, can you see how it's just balanced everything out? That considered, oh, hang on a minute. No, I don't want to report or hide user. I want to see the comments. Okay, oh, thanks for testing on your arm. Do you know what? It leaves the comments up for about 5 seconds and then you disappear. So if I haven't caught your question, just write it again. Hi, Mimi. Or if I've ignored you, I'm not ignoring you. It pops up for about 5 seconds and then you disappear. So if I've not seen your question, hello, Jackie. Just type again, all right? Now, I'm going to put this Flawless filter on because everybody's been saying that I'm glowing recently, and I definitely think it's a Flawless filter. I do think I've been taking care of my skin as well, but considering the amount of sleep I get, I think I need some help. Now, I've got 2 shades of Flawless Filter because I got one that's slightly too dark and the other one's slightly too light. But the one in the middle makes me look like a corpse. So, I've got 5 and I've got shade 3. But 4, just if you click on the bar to type a comment, if you have one, comments will show up. Okay. Chat viewing option, live chat, top chats, chat viewing options. No, it just says live chat, all messages. Ah, there we go. I've got you. Except I can't see me now, but that's probably a good thing. Right, okay, thank you there. Thank you, Lady Million. Right, so here we have, this is shade 3 of Flawless Filter. And then this one is shade 5. And what I've been doing is mixing them. But the one in the middle makes, I only got a sample of the one in the middle. And it made me look grey. You know, like I was saying to one of you the other day. Do you remember the, if you're old enough to remember this, do you remember Spitting Image and the character of John Major? That's how I looked. I know, it is brilliant, isn't it? So let me put some of that on and I'll put it on with a damp beauty blender. And what I'm just going to do, actually, is... You've all disappeared again. Why have you all gone? All your comments have gone. Oh, you have to keep doing that. That's weird. Okay, so I'm just going to dot some of this. This is shade 5 around my face. And then I'll dot a bit of shade 3. And we'll do it that way. I tell you that other stuff that's really good for making you glow is that Glowplexion from IT Cosmetics. I didn't give it a very good review before. Lucy just said something. Let me just get that back up. Love Spitting Image, Major and his peas, yeah. What is your favourite makeup brand besides CT? I think probably Huda Beauty. I've had to sit on my hands this morning because she's got some new palettes out. Have you seen them? God, go and have a look on Cult Beauty. Because I'm waiting to get the Charlotte Tilbury one, I'm sitting on my hands. But she's got an amethyst one, a ruby one, an emerald one. You know the little square ones like she had before, the £25 each. She's got an amber one and, oh, I can't remember. It's green, blue, red, amber. And I've missed one out. I'm sure I've missed one out. But I love the red one and I love the blue one. I love the purple one, but I think Charlotte's probably going to have, her palette's got a lot of purple in it. So, yeah, I don't know really. Thank you, Jackie. Well, I love you all following me. It's so great. Has anyone got any questions? Oh, a couple of you wanted me. I'll put this on and then I'll do it. A couple of you wanted me to swatch a couple of lipsticks. I had 2 requests for Bitch Perfect and I had a request for Amazing Grace. And I've got pretty much every lipstick, almost. Except ones that quite obviously wouldn't suit me. What haven't I? I haven't got Kim KW. But don't forget, I've collected these over a long period of time. Amazing Grace. You want to see Amazing Grace? Okay, let me put some Magic Concealer on and then I'll put the Amazing Grace. Magic away. I'm going to put shade 6 on. Shade 6. Okay, I will get you Amazing Grace. We shall have a look for that in a second. Just bear with me. I just put this concealer on and then I'll get you Amazing Grace. Got to cover my under eye up. Yeah, I've got almost all of them except Kim KW. I haven't got oh, I can't remember. You know what I'm like with names. I can't remember. There's one that I think would probably suit me that I haven't got. I haven't got Birkin Brown because I'm not a fan of brown lipsticks. I think that's sort of so gone out with the 90s. It'll probably come back in, but yeah. I'm trying to think of that. It's named after one of the actresses. That one I haven't got. So yeah, there's a couple. There's probably about 5 or 6 I haven't got, and the rest I've got. Right, Amazing Grace. Let me get you Amazing Grace. Just bear with me. You're gonna let me just bring these over. So right, let me see. Amazing Grace. I've got them in sort of generally some kind of order so that I can find them. Good morning. Oh, you joined from the States. What time is it, Robin, in the States? Because I wanted to make sure I got a time that would capture people in the States and people in the UK and people also in Australia. Come on, Amazing Grace, where are you? I know that you're here somewhere. Just bear with me a minute. It might be in one of these boxes. Give it up. I've got Burke and Brown. Does remind me of the shades I used to wear in the 90s. Black Cherry by Rimmel. Oh, right, okay. I don't know whether... I must have been into makeup in the 90s. I do remember wearing a lot of browns. Where is Amazing Grace? Come on, Amazing Grace. Isn't it typical? The one that you're looking for you can't find. I've definitely... let me go this way. Let me go this way. It must be this way somewhere. I was just chatting with you. I'm a night out. Oh, right, of course, Lady Million. I hadn't linked you, and of course I have. Sorry. It's because you've got a different Instagram name, and you know how confused I get with names. I'll get there in a minute. I've definitely got Amazing Grace. Definitely got it. Come on. Yeah, at last I found it. Okay, here we go. Here is Amazing Grace. I'll swatch it on my arm and then I'll put it on me. 8:20 to 5:20. Oh, I see. So maybe not capturing everybody then. There you go. There's Amazing Grace on my arm, but that is the palest part of my arm for you pale skinned ladies out there. And here is Amazing Grace. So what do you think, Bindi? Do you like that one? And there it is on the arm. So you'll see, if you're a bit paler, it's going to look a bit darker. Let's see any other questions that come up. And still I couldn't miss this live. I'm having so much fun with that vote coming in on Instagram. Oh, don't do that to me, Lady Million. You know, I'm going to just... Lady Million is probably easier to remember than Mary. I've always been the same, by the way. I've always remembered. I remember... Thank you. Oh, it was unflattering on you, was it? Yeah, do you know the one that I like? So, has Bindi seen this? Because I don't want to take it off. You'd love to see smoky eyes. Okay, what palette? Pick your palette. Pick your Charlotte Tilbury palette. You know the one that I really like? I hope Bindi's seen this. Bindi, have you seen this? Because I want to show you another one. The one that I like on me. That is very similar to this. But it's a little bit darker. It's a tiny bit darker. Let me just get it. I'll show you. Let me get it and I'll swatch it. And then I'll take this off. Here it is. I found it straight away. Miranda May. I like this because it's a little bit... Here you go, Bindi. Amazing Grace. If you're fairer, it will look a little bit darker. And you want the rock chick? Oh, wow. Okay. All right, I will do the rock chick. Let me just show you. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to show you Miranda May. You just missed Amazing Grace, but don't worry. If I can save this at the end, I will. Sometimes it goes a bit nuts when you try and save a live, and it just says processing for 2 days, and it doesn't upload. But so I can't promise, but I will try to save this so that it should actually save it so that you can see it later. Oh, you bought Miranda May. Ah, right. I remember now. Sorry, Bindi. I remember all the conversations. I just don't remember, like, the names of the people I had the conversations with. But I remember you were trying to decide between them. This is Miranda May. I love this. Sorry, that's my washing machine in the bleeping. Oh, you want the Duchess? Oh, it's very different to Pillow Talk. It's like a soft pink. There you go. And the other one I like, which is even brighter than this, is Hot Emily. Right, I'll do Duchess in a minute, but let me get out the rock chick. Can I put some powder on? Do you want to see magic powder or airbrush flawless finish? Or is that a silly question? Come on, guys, you decide. Magic powder. Okie dokie. My washing machine will stop bleeping in a minute. You want the gold one? All right, I'll put a bit of both on. The gold one is airbrush flawless finish. I'll put a bit of both on so you can see the difference. So I'm just going to put some of this in the lid. And I will put it on with a damp beauty blender and then swipe it away with a brush. 1 second, excuse me. Right. I know I haven't got the most glamorous backdrop, by the way, guys, but I am going to be moving at the end of the year to a bigger place. So out of town, more into the countryside, but a bigger place. And my other half said, I suppose you're going to have a beauty room then. I went, you bet I am. So I'll have a better backdrop then. At the moment, it's still stickers that Jack put on the wall when he was about 3. But believe me, that's the most glamorous backdrop you're going to get in this place. Right, okay. The joys of living really centrally. Like, I'm in the middle of everywhere in London. You couldn't be in a better location, but it's tiny. Smoky eyes with rock chip palette and bedroom black. Okay. So I'm just going to dust some of this. Oh no, I was going to put it on with a damp beauty blender, wasn't I? I just put this on the centre of my face. I haven't set my concealer, but do you know what? With that Magic Away, I don't think you need to. I never feel like I need to with it. Doesn't need it. It just stays put anyway. So why put powder somewhere under your eyes and make yourself look wrinkly without actually, if you don't actually need it? It's just that we're taught that you should set your concealer. The reason you have to set concealer is because it slides off, whereas this doesn't slide off, so why set it? That's what I say. I'm a bit of a rebel, aren't I? Right, so that is Magic Away. I tell you what, Bindi, it is great. but I've lived here for a number of years now, and I think when I was a student, and in my 20s and 30s, it was fantastic. But once you have a family, I'm now yearning for countryside. So I think, you know, I've had my years here and it's great. What's the reason for the damp beauty blender? It just... good. Lucy, you always ask me questions that stump me. It just seems to apply better. And it takes that powderiness off. It's a bit like, I suppose you could put it on with a dry beauty blender and then just squirt it with setting spray. So it's a bit like doing that, really. It just makes it stop looking too powdery, because when you're of a certain age, powder isn't always your friend. Even if it's supposed to be luminous and everything else, it's not necessarily your friend. Yeah, it does work better. It definitely goes on better and it looks better. And it kind of applies better as well. Now let me find the Rock Chick. I'll just get my eye palettes, excuse me. Okay, let's look for Rock Chick. This was probably one of the last ones I got. I remember, actually, this was one. Oh yeah, no worries. No worries, Mary. If I keep saying it, I'll remember it. Have a good day, and I will try my best to save this. Right, I have the Rock Chick. Here is the Rock Chick. So this was probably one of the last ones that I got. And I had a makeover in Charlotte Tilbury to try it. I don't own any... Hang on, let me just get those chats back up. I don't own any CT palettes. Which would you recommend for my first one? Did you, Bindi, are you the person that said you're a similar skin tone to me? It really does depend on your colouring and your eye colour. I can tell you my favourites, but they may not necessarily suit you. Give me a bit more info and I'll hopefully guide you in the right direction. My favourite, I'll tell you the order that you have dark green eyes. The Rock Chick would be good for dark green eyes. Definitely. I think green and grey would go great. Yeah. Dolce Vita looks nice with green eyes, and that was my second palette that I bought. It's her top... I'll show you Dolce Vita in a minute. It's her top... I think it's her top seller. Mind you, Pillar Talk may. So this is the prime shade. Obviously, I'm not doing as careful a job as I would be in a tutorial. Okay. Because I'm chatting to you guys, but you wanted to see it. And I'll have to see if I've got my new bedroom back out, because I've got an old one in here that's not very good. Yeah, so I would... Dolce Vita is lovely. Favourite brushes for eye makeup. I have got the Charlotte Tilbury ones. They're good. I tell you, there's a MAC... The MAC brushes are really good for eye makeup. There's a 217 blending brush. Don't think you can beat it. Everybody raves about it, so I bought it because everyone was raving about it. It's really good. And Real Techniques. If you're... they've got one that's called the Expert Crease Brush. And it's really good if you've got Colour Chameleon and you want to buff it in. Yes, I do think she's going to restock Pillar Talk Eye and Cheek. I tell you why. When she brought out Pillar Talk lipstick, that was a limited edition, and she brought it out and it said limited edition, and Everyone went nuts for it. It sold out within a week, and then she bought it back for a limited edition, and it sold out again, and then she bought it back for permanent. And I think there's been the cheek palette's still available. I don't think the cheek palette is as popular, and I think that's because it's a little bit on the dark side. I mean, you probably noticed when I did my video that it was quite pigmented. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, but I think some people with fairer skin tones might be a bit put off by it. So yeah, so I'm not sure about the cheek palette, although if she's going to bring it out, she's going to bring it out, and I think she couldn't bring out the eye palette and not the cheek palette, and have it as a look. As the look sold out? Can you still, because sometimes when you can't buy the individual items, you can still buy the look. It's like, you know, the American Beauty, no, what is it? American Sweetheart, English Beauty, and Shanghai Nights. You can't buy Shanghai Nights now. I don't think you can buy English Beauty either, or American Sweetheart. But you can still buy the set with all of them in. You just can't buy them individually. Use Penelope Pink lipstick with Seduction Lip Lacquer and, oh, hang on. Use Penelope Pink lipstick with Seduction Lip Lacquer with Charlotte's new Pillow Talk blush. Okay, right, I'll do that. Let me just finish off with this. I'll just put a little bit of the smoke shade. It's not going to be as polished because I've got to get through and show you the things that you want to see, but and also, you know what I'm like when I'm talking. Terrible. Now, again, I keep having to remind myself to hold it at the end when you're blending, because it really makes a difference. I can't believe I forgot that advice. And then suddenly it came back to me. And it does work, because you don't press as hard. It's only for blending, guys. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's good for everything, but particularly for blending, because you're not pressing the eyeshadow in as much. You're moving it around. That's okay. Talking's more fun. Thank you. Listen, if you are really miffed that you've, for those of you that maybe hadn't joined me earlier, if you're really miffed that you didn't manage to get Pillow Talk, the Pillow Talk eyeshadow, and it's now sold out, I hunted around for drugstore items and I bought an entire look. We're talking eyeshadow, blush, lipstick, lip liner, and Film Star Bronze and Glow dupe for less than £20. And if you go over to Instagram after this and have a look at my my daily story, you can vote which side you think is the real, well, basically, I'm not asking you which side is the real McCoy. I'm asking you which side is the drugstore, okay? Because it's pretty close. And I'm going to do a tutorial and either upload it tomorrow or the following day. There's one thing, and I'm not going to tell you because it would give it away. There's one thing that gives it away. There's one, like, if you know what's in the Pillow Talk collection, there's one thing that gives it away immediately, but obviously it hasn't given it away, so I'm not going to tell you. Right, I better not forget the pop shade. So this one is probably my least used palette, because it looks nice, but it's sort of stepping out of my comfort zone. Everybody's got a palette where they're stepping out, but I honestly think that I can wear, and most people can wear, any of her palettes because they are so well coordinated. It's just some are going to suit you better than others. obviously. And if you've got priorities and you're not crazy like me and have collected the whole lot over 2-3 years, they're probably going off by now, some of the first ones I bought. But they're not, actually. Her lipsticks have not gone off, like the ones I bought right from the start. They're really good for that, whereas like other lipsticks that I bought a year ago have gone off. So I saw, is it Dr. Mona Khan? She was saying that about Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. And she said that Tom Ford's go off really quickly, but I haven't had mine long enough to tell. Now, let's see if I can find this Bedroom Black. It may be the old one, in which case it might not be as pigmented. But you'll just have to accept that they're normally a better pigment than that. And I'll put that one on. I can't wait. The one thing about getting my place is that I'm going to have this all like organised in drawers. At the moment, they're all, you know, in the gift boxes, when you get a lot of stuff, they come in these. So I've got things organised in there. So I can't wait to actually get to a point where, I tell you that this one, by the way, while I'm looking for it, this one's called Sapphire Sex. And it was a limited edition that she bought. I think she put it in a set. You had to buy a set to get it. And it's blue, but it's not quite as blue as Marley Midnight. Come on, Bedroom Black. So I've got all my eye stuff in one box. And I kind of, aha, there you are. It's not really that. Having your own beauty room will be wonderful. Yes, it will. Do you know what? Just having a dressing table. My flat is so small. I don't have a dressing table. This is not going to go. I'm just going to have to work with this because otherwise I'm going to be off camera for too long. This is Bedroom Black, but it's not very pigmented because it needs to go out and I need to chuck it out. Let me just put that down there. All right, so just accept that it's not going to be as pigmented as it would normally be. The other thing that comes with this look, which would be better actually, I'll show you in a second, is the liquid one, which comes with the Rock Chick if you buy it as a look. I did actually buy the Rock. Most of the things I bought separately, and I started off buying a look, and then like my second palette was Dolce Vita. Now if you buy the Dolce Vita look, you get the same blush. So I didn't want 2 Ecstasy blushes. I prefer, I think, depends on the look actually. I think pencil eyeliner is more forgiving when you've got crepey lids and also with hooded lids, because liquid, if I don't like to do too much of a wing because it's impossible. But I think generally it would be pencil. I think her Rock and Coal I prefer to the powder ones, because the powder ones you do have to press a bit harder. But this is not as pigmented as it would normally be, okay? Is it worth the money? No. No. I'll tell you why, because I think you can buy a drugstore one that's just as good. I got it because it was in the Rock Chick look. And I'd bought the whole look, so that's how I got it. But I've had drugstore feline flicks, and I wouldn't say there was anything unusually good about it. Like, it's good, but I've bought drugstore ones that are just as good. So no, I would definitely, because that way as well you can spend your money on something else on Charlotte. There's loads of things that are worth it, you know. Why spend 21 quid on something that is Sorry, I'm just something that is basically not worth it. Oh, let me just. I'm just getting a bit of mascara here. I'll use one of her mascaras rather than my favourite. Here, Legendary Lashes Volume 2. And then you want the Pillow Talk blush. And you want Seduction and you want Penelope Pink. Yeah, so I think there's certain things that are not. Which one would I miss the most and would rebuy the first? Okay, wow. Which would I miss the most? Oh, do you know, it's really difficult because I tell you, one of the reasons that I've got all this makeup, and you all know this, and a lot of you know this, right, is as my disability has deteriorated, it's taken a lot of other options away from me. So even you know, that my photo that you see that's coming up with me sitting on the scooter and I'm wearing those boots, I can't wear those anymore. My legs don't go in them. So I've only got one pair of shoes. So I'm getting to your answer. Clothes, I get very uncomfortable due to lymphedema and due to pain. And it's taken my enthusiasm for clothes away. I'll accessorise. I like sort of getting things like headbands and things like this and nice tops, but I'm not really that enthusiastic. So one of the reasons that I got so enthused, I never used to have this amount of makeup. You know, I'd have a couple of palettes, like maybe a purple one and a brown one, and some good foundation, but I never had this amount of makeup before. Is because I've got choices. So to actually narrow it down to one, because I kind of go with my mood. So like wake up and think, oh, you know what, I really want to wear the Pillow Talk look today, or I really want to wear the Dolce Vita. So I couldn't narrow it down to one, but I could narrow it down to a couple. I think I would definitely miss the Dolce Vita. Because that is just stunning. And I probably would miss the Sophisticate, actually, because that's an all matte eyeshadow, but it just looks really great. I think you'll say Vintage Vamp. Yeah, there's the Vintage Vamp as well, you see. It's really difficult. Let me tell you, I bought them in the order of Vintage Vamp first, and it took me 2 days to decide, because I decided I'd won this money. I decided that I was going to buy an entire look, and that was the first major purchase from Charlotte Tilbury. I'd bought a brow product before, but nothing else. And it took me 2 days to decide which one I wanted to get. And eventually I opted for Vintage Vamp. And then Dolce Vita was my second. And then third was Golden Goddess. And I think that's probably would be the order I would miss them in. Although I did say Dolce Vita. So it just depends. Yeah, Dolce Vita and Vintage Vamp, definitely. I think with Golden Goddess, it is beautiful, but you could probably recreate that look very easily in other palettes. And you said, what lipsticks? Bitch Perfect. I would miss Bitch Perfect. I would miss Confession. And I would probably miss Very Victoria. And Hot Emily. Can I say 4? You see, I like options. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't narrow it down any more than that. That's why I've got... And that's why I ended up with her entire collection, because I've got so many things to choose from, and I get so excited by that. And, you know, as I've said before, it's not a pity party, but I've got a pair of black medical shoes, and I need to get a new pair. And do you know how I get a new pair of shoes? You lot go into a shop and buy a pair and think, what colour and what style do I want? I have to go to my GP and get re-referred to get them made for me. and they're always black. Dolce Vita and Vintage Vamp are exactly the two I want to buy so bad. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Do you want to see them before I do this? Let me just get you Dolce Vita and Vintage Vamp. I think Pillow Talk for the day is fantastic, and it might overtake my Sophisticate. I used to wear the Sophisticate a lot at work. If you guys don't know, I've just been medically retired. This one, by the way, comes out at Christmas. Let me show you this one. This is called Legendary Muse. They normally bring it out at Christmas, but they're all shimmery shades, but they are beautiful. And it just looks stunning at Christmas. Right, let me see. Vintage Vamp. Here's Vintage Vamp. This would have gone really well with my top today. Probably what I would have been inclined to wear. So that's Vintage Vamp. Let me just... So this is the pop shade. The pop shade is gold. And then you've got... Really good for the autumn. So that's the smoke shade. That's the enhanced shade. And this is the prime shade. Really beautiful. Can you see why 2 days it took me to decide between that one and... Let me find the Dolce Vita. I will say though, her stuff lasts and lasts. And it doesn't smell like it's gone off. I do take care of my makeup, and I make sure I use makeup disinfectant, stuff like that. And I keep it away out of the light. Here is Dolce Vita. Okay. And let me just swatch that. So, prime shade. I'll put the two together in a minute. Enhanced shade. Smoke shade. And gorgeous pop shade. This is probably my favourite pop shade. Okay, let me just show you. So that was what I was choosing between. No, I've not hit pan on a quad. No, I suppose though, because I've got all of them that and I do rotate. I think, you know, a lot of people, they get so many quads and they can't. I'm always rotating because I get bored. I've hit pan a couple of times on Airbrush Flawless Finish, and I can't listen with you turned up as... Hang on. Oh, hang on. Am I shouting? Oh, okay. Can't you put on subtitles? I think there's a subtitles option. Have a look at the top. There should be... I don't know if it's on a live feed, but you should be able to put me on subtitles if it understands me. Right, now I want the Pillow Talk, don't I? And I better get on with this, or my son will be coming home from school. He's now allowed to walk home alone, and he's so proud. I'm home alone now. He's not that far from school, so we're not that far from school. It's one road and it's not too busy, and I had to watch him for a long time before I'd let him do it. But he's at that age now, he wants his independence. And right, Pillow Talk blush. Let me get that. And here we go. So Pillow Talk blush. So I think one of the reasons people aren't going for this is it looks quite sort of intimidating. So I've got a bit of Dolce Vita on there. Let me just wipe that off. It looks quite intimidating if you've got fairer skin, but you know, you just go a bit easier really. And then that one is the pop. So I shall put that on. Let me get Charlotte's blush brush. If you're going for Real Techniques, they've got a set out. Somebody was asking me about brushes. They've got a set out at the moment with all their favourites, and they are all my favourites in one set. Because the annoying thing in the past is that you get all these different sets and you might not want all of them in there, but it's cheaper than buying them individually. They brought out a set with my favourites, and my favourites are this one, which I happen to have in front of me, which is the Expert Face Brush. Then it's got the setting brush, which you see me using so many times. It's that pink one that I often put under eye setting powder on with. And then it's got the Expert Concealer Brush, which is brilliant for concealer. The Expert Crease Brush, which is the one that I use to smudge in cream eyeshadow. And the Blush Brush, which I use for blush a lot of the time, and I use it a lot of the time for powder. Really good, and they've got them all together in one set. Now, if I hadn't bought them, I would definitely go, but I've got so many brushes now. I've got a brush set that I haven't even started using, that I bought for Christmas in the sales. Luxie brushes, and I haven't started using them yet. Anyway, so this is the Swiss shade. So I really need to start using them. Can anybody tell me, have any of you got that gadget for cleaning brushes? Because I'm thinking of getting it. And I know they do cheaper versions, but I meant the original one. They've got one in Argos now that is called the Pro. It's called the Style Pro, but this one's called Style Pro Expert, and it does more than one brush at a time. If anybody's got it, or even just the normal Style Pro, can you tell me what it's like? I saw a review from Really Ree, and she said it's fantastic. Because it just makes cleaning your brushes so much easier. So this is Pillow Talk. Is that smoky enough for you? The other thing is, by the way, if you want to make it smokier, is to put a colour chameleon underneath it. And a good colour chameleon for the Rock Chick would be Dark Pearl. Or the one that I haven't got because it just didn't suit me, but it would go well under this. Mesmerising Mink, which was supposed to be a limited edition, but she's still selling it. Thank you. Right, so you wanted Seduction and Penelope Pink. Your wish is my command. And I've got to remember that somebody's... Sarah Leonard, are you here? My mate Sarah. I've known her from before this channel. Is she around? Because she asked for Bitch Perfect, and Lucy did as well. Oh, I'm doing quite well with names today. Right, so I'm looking for Penelope Pink, which I've got. I've got them in kind of light and dark order. The most disappointing, what do you mean, the most disappointing Charlotte Tilbury or the most disappointing ever? I think you all know the answer to the most disappointing Charlotte Tilbury, if you've been watching me for a while. In general, okay, in general, the most disappointing. Trying to think, the most disappointing. I got a MAC palette once, an eyeshadow palette, and the colour, I can't remember what it was called, but the colours look really great in the pan. And when I put it on, no worries, see you, Claire. When I put it on, there was just no pigment to it. And to the point that I was literally getting the end of the brush and digging into it to actually make it show up. But it just looked like I had nothing on my eyes. Really disappointing. And there are some MAC eyeshadows that are like that. They look great in the pan, but they just don't show up on the eyes. So now I like that. I do live near a MAC, so I go and try them out before I buy, because some of them look lovely, but they don't show up. And the Charlotte Tilbury one has got to be Sunset Lover. I was so excited about it, and it was so awful. Just split, yeah. It just split. It looked dreadful. It looked like I'd mixed it with lard. I did actually, eventually I kicked up a fuss. Because I was fobbed off at first. I was told, we haven't had any other complaints like this. I said, oh, really? Have a look at your reviews online. And I said, and while you're at it, have a look at some of the comments on my channel, because I'm not the only one. And then they said, okay, thanks for your feedback. We appreciate it. And they gave me a store credit. It's the only one that I've ever had from Charlotte Tilbury, that lipstick-wise, that I thought, you know, this is, something's gone wrong here. I don't know what they did to the formula, but the formula was different, even though the ingredients were exactly the same. I just put a bit of Pillow Talk around the edge. Here's Penelope Pink. Now, this lip probably works a bit better with the Dolce Vita than the Rock Chick, because it's otherwise it sort of washes me out a bit. But to show you, this does go with the Dolce Vita. You need something, I think, a bit, well, I need something a bit warmer. And because I bought the Rock Chick look, I have actually got, would you believe, Nude Kate. And would you believe that I use it a lot? And I don't use it on its own because I look like a corpse, but I use it to mix with other lipsticks to make them lighter, or yeah, I was going to say or darker, but you know what I mean. Lighter, definitely lighter. Right, Seduction, Seduction, Seduction. Where are you, Seduction? I've finally got all the lip lusters. Which is the best CT nude lipstick? The best CT nude lipstick for me has got to be Very Victoria. And the reason I say for me is I think you have to look at your natural lip colour and try and find one that is going to match your lip colour as best as possible. If you go for one too fair, you're going to look like a corpse. I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you the I'll show you what Nude Kate looks like on me, and then I'll show you Very Victoria. So try and find one that looks as close. Yeah, isn't it so annoying? And they look beautiful in the pan. Right, so this is Seduction over the top. Good mixture, by the way. Okay. So, Pillow Talk Blush, Seduction, and Penelope Pink underneath. Now, let me just show you. I'll just keep that on for a minute. Let me just show you what I mean about nude lipstick. So, thank you. I'll put that back on in a minute and take a picture at the end and put it on Instagram. But I just want to show you what I mean about nude lips. So, have a look at your lips without any lipstick on. And actually, they probably look even pinker than Very Victoria. Now, if I put Nude Kate on, I think nude lipsticks have got to be very personal to you. They're going to look good dependent on your own skin colour. So if I go too light on it, this is what happens when you go too light on a nude lipstick. your lips disappear. Gross, eh? But if I go to Very Victoria, which is Very Victoria, which is a bit closer to my natural lip colour. Can you see if I don't put that half of my lip on, how close it is to my natural lip shade? And that's what makes a good nude lipstick. Do I think Stars in Your Eyes will be released early? Well, I was reading up yesterday that it was due out on the 20th, which is Thursday. So I've been watching my emails all day and going on to her website, and it's not up yet. Normally I get 72 hours preview access, but it's not up there yet, so I don't know. Sometimes they have different strategies, like sometimes when you get early access they actually deliver it to you early, but last time with Pillow Talk I got it on Monday and I didn't get the parcel till Friday, and everyone apparently didn't get it until Friday. So they wanted everyone to get it at the same time, but certain people could order it, like if you put your name down. Right, I need to do Bitch Perfect. And Bitch Perfect is in a box called So Marilyn. Well, Lady Million's gone. Lady Million's got her hands on a palette, right? So I'll go and have a look at her Instagram channel. She's called something reviews. Have a look because she's commented on a few of my posts. Something reviews. Anyway, she's got her hands on a palette. Lucky girl. So jealous. And I asked her this morning, I said, does it smell of curry? Has anyone followed me back then when I reviewed the other palette? I call it my curry palette because if you sniff it, it smells of curry powder. And when I did that video, about 3 people said, oh my God, Ali, I went and sniffed my palette after I stopped watching this, and you're right, it smells of curry. I think a lot of people did not like the way it was pigmented, and it was a slightly different formula to her quad formula. So I'll be interested to know what Lady Million thinks of that. But Lady Million didn't have the last one, but she's probably got some quads. So the quads were definitely a better formula than the large instant palette. So I don't know if it's the same formula as her last instant palette. I'm not sure. I'm going to get it because I like to review it and show you guys. So I'll let you know as soon as I've got it. There's no reason to think that it will be the same as her last one just because it's in the same sort of palette. I'm glad to see that what she hasn't done is try to imitate this rose gold effect. She's just kept it, I think, burgundy this time, which is good. Right, now for Lucy and for Lucy and Sarah, Bitch Perfect. There you go. I love this one. And the story, in case you haven't heard it, is that Jack loves this lipstick on me. And he remembered that the word bitch was a naughty word. And one morning he asked me for SHIT perfect. And it was a quite understandable mistake, because he just remembered that the first word was a rude word. And from now on, that's what we've nicknamed it in this house. It's the only time I allow him to swear, because it just made me laugh and laugh and laugh. And let's face it, it is pretty perfect. Okay, I'm going to put the other two lipsticks back on. Are there any questions before I go? Because I'm going to have to go and get on with some stuff before my little son comes back. And do let me know if you'd like me to do another live. Can't wait for the next one. I'll check out your Instagram. Okay, I can do a kind of another live slot in a couple of weeks' time or next week. Let me know. Either leave comments here or on Instagram. If you're not following me yet on Instagram, it's Mals70 _ Ali M's Beauty. Okay, so that's MALS 70 _ Ali M's Beauty. All as one word, no apostrophes. ALIMSBEAUTY. Any other questions? Have I answered everyone's? Let's just see. What's your thoughts? Love the look. I'm just looking back to see if I've missed out any questions. I think I've answered them all. No, I think it looks like I've answered them all. Yeah, let me know if there's anything else. And oh, you want Tom Ford next? Okay. All right. Well, listen, guys, it's been really great seeing you all. And yeah, and I thank you for making me wear the Rock Chick, because I haven't worn it for ages. And yeah, take care, and don't forget to catch up with me either tomorrow or Thursday, when I will be doing half of my face with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk look and the other half with Drugstore. And if you haven't voted yet for which one you think is the Drugstore side, pop over to Instagram onto my daily story and vote, and I will let you know in 24 hours. And then if you're interested in the products I used, which was less than £20 for eyeshadow, blusher, lipstick, lip liner and bronze and glow, then yeah, tune into my video. So either tomorrow or Thursday that will be uploaded. All right, take care. See you soon. Thank you everyone for your support. Love you all.